us out there across the world and across the ether. It is Jay Turner, success coach for EduJay LLC. My son's giving me a big laugh here. He's like, my dad's a goober, which is true. We are starting today with yet another Sunrise Success Series. You'll notice that we're doing things just a little bit differently today. I am joined here by a special guest. This is one of my four children. This is Christian Turner, also known as C-Mac, also known as Mac Man, also known back in the day as Skinny Mac. But this is obviously he's my clone. You know, I'm like the thick one. He's a thin one. He looks a whole lot better than I am. And he's a whole lot smarter than I am too. I am welcoming you to join our live stream. You can either continue to watch us on Facebook, or if you want to hop into this session and interact with us on a more personal level, there's a link inside of the screen below. Wrong hand. Screen below. There you go. You can join us at app.believe.tv, etc., etc. All those numbers that you see cascading across the bottom left-hand corner of your screen. So today, as in every day, I'd like to really start off by talking about some topics that I think are important to me, that I like to share with everyone else. And one thing that I find myself consistently speaking with people about is this whole notion of being a parent, right? We know that kids don't come with an instruction manual. Mac, did you come with an instruction manual?
No.
Yeah, no, really didn't. It's a whole lot of trial and error, as you know, whether you are a parent or if you're thinking about becoming one. I mean, you literally just kind of like do things and you figure shit out as you go along. Part of my French son, like, don't repeat what I just said. But today I want to just kind of talk about, we sat down and we chopped it up, talked shop a little bit, and want to share like four things that we think are kind of powerful tips on how you can best maximize your relationship as a parent when you have children. So, today we're going to talk about really how do you not suck as a parent. The very first thing, we have four pieces of advice. Matt came up with this one. And he says, like what's most important to him within this parent-son relationship. Oh, I'm being joined by another one of my kids. Come on in. This is Jansen. We also call him Red. Notice the carrot top of the hair he's got. And he's eating some toast. Red, you gonna come on camera with us? You coming? You joining? Red is in. Okay. Yeah. All right, y'all pardon him while he eats. We're drinking coffee. He's eating jelly toast. But what would you expect from a 7-year-old? All right, the very first thing that Mac and I want to talk about was concept number one, and that is, to have a strong relationship as a parent between parent and kids is this whole idea about being friends. So, C-Mac, since this was kind of like one of your topics that you came up with, like, what does that really mean? Like, how do you be friends with your parents?
First and foremost, I think it's important to like kind of draw the line, like, parent, son, parent, child, whatever. But I also think it's pretty much almost equally as important to have a really personal kind of friendship, and to develop common interests and to hang out and to be buddies and be comfortable enough with your parents or be comfortable enough with your kid to have that kind of relationship where you guys can still have that traditional parent-child thing, but also be able to have fun and hang out just like buddies would,
Sounds good. And so I'm definitely curious, from the mindset of a 7-year-old, like, what does it mean to be friends with your parents? You have any thoughts there, buddy? So what do you think? What does it mean to be friends with your parents?
Okay. To be friends with your parents. Okay, so what it means to be friends with your parents. Okay, so what it means to be friends with your parents is you after you like you use nice words. You gotta care about them.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay. So I get it. So, we're hearing two very different things from a 17-year-old and a 7-year-old. But I think like the commonality here is a couple first, right? So the very first thing is like it's this whole idea, as Red would say, right? It's about nice, right? Yeah. It's about being respectful and nice. See, the thing is, when we're parents, we have different ways that we can influence and kind of get the behavior from our children that we want, right? I mean, we can go very heavy-handed, be demanding, and say you have to do what I'm saying do right now because I'm the parent. And the thing is, like, I'm not gonna lie. I mean, I used to be that kind of person, and I mean, and how did that make you feel?
It was not
Like,
very
like, like
fun.
legit, like legit.
It was not very fun, not at all.
Yeah, I mean, like, no, there was a point in time where I sucked as a parent. I mean, listen, I'm just gonna put it out there. I mean, because it was the only style that I knew. But what I learned over the years, and as C-Mac said, and as Jansen kind of like reinforced, kids don't come with an instruction manual, and so you have to be open to their experiences, open to listening to them, so that you can really figure out how to be more than one mode, how to have more than one speed, and really meet them where they are. And being nice is a part of that. Being nice doesn't mean be a pushover,
Sure.
but nicety helps build that friendship, and that's something that I think is core and critical. So let's talk about like the second area that we have here. And this is one that Mac, Red, and I we all kind of talked about and agreed to as a second one. And we talked about this whole idea of like the R, right? The big R word, and that is mutual respect. So, I mean, of course, again, I have ideas like what it means to be respectful of your parents. I think I'm putting him to sleep with all this like positive talk. He's like, no, like yawning on camera, bro. You're running him stream. Okay, but mutual respect. So, Jansen, do you know what it means to be respectful? So, tell everybody, like, when we say respect, like, what does that mean?
Um, say yes, ma'am, or yes, sir when someone tells you to do it.
Okay. Okay. So I mean, so yeah, definitely, keeping your southern charm in you, because look, we're from the A, y'all. Like we country, and we still hold doors. We still say yes, sir, yes, ma'am, no, sir, no, ma'am. Please and thank you. We're all about that. So thank you for that reminder, Jansen. C-Mac, I mean, what do we mean by being respectful? What are your thoughts on that?
With like mutual respect, especially, I feel like a lot of kids, especially my age, they're kind of frustrated with their parents a lot of the time because they feel like their parents are always constantly kind of like looking down upon them almost. And kind of, especially as, the kid gets older and, like the lines kind of blur between like a strict parent-child thing and like, still being a parent and child, but as adults. I think it gets more and more important to kind of have a mutual respect relationship with your kid and not so much almost like kind of look down on them with like an air of authority, but to kind of guide them as a parent figure. I think that's super important.
I hear that. So let me kind of mirror back to you what I think I'm hearing you say. So what I think I hear you say about mutual respect is this whole idea that I have to like understand you as a person, and that it's not necessarily my way or the highway, but really trying to find some commonality, while also just really kind of doing like what I would do with anybody else. That is maintaining your respect and your dignity as a person.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Gotcha. I mean, this is another thing, right? This is all about being real. We do this a lot on the Sunrise Success Series. I mean, the bottom line is, yes, I'm a coach. Yes, I try to help people get results and overcome challenges in their lives. But the bottom line is, I couldn't be a good coach if I haven't gone through some stuff as well. And, when it comes to this whole concept of parenthood and mutual respect, I mean, I didn't necessarily always have this right. What I will say, my biggest takeaways around mutual respect are, first and foremost, and I've intimated toward this, is like really trying to meet my kids where they are. And that is, look, I have 4 kids. I got 4 kids, right? Like, first of all, like, y'all keep me broke. You eat too much. I mean, like, you eat more than my mortgages cost. I mean, y'all eating me out of house and home. So, it is sad time. I mean, was it profound sadness? It is profound sadness, like how much they eat. But I really try to, meet every kid where they are. I understand that, Red over here is not the same person as Mac over here. My 2 other kids who are not online with me, they're still sleeping in. These are all individuals. And so we have to really try to find a way to understand what motivates and drives them and mirror our approach to parenting them based on their likes and their desires. And of course, I mean, that's me respecting them as a person. It is like my me sees your you.
Yeah, absolutely.
But likewise, I mean, there has to be it's
Sure.
the give and take. I mean, but likewise, the kids have to do the same thing,
Yeah, of
right?
course.
I mean, so you tell me, like, like how do you kind of mirror that, back to a parent?
You know, honestly, as a parent, you don't really ask for too much. You're pretty like, hands off, laid back, pretty chill. But at the same time, that also makes it more impactful when you do ask me to do things. So how I try to like mirror respect is just to listen and kind of go with it when you ask me to do things, because I know since you don't ask for much, when you do, it's important. So yeah.
I appreciate that. But yeah, and I think there's something else that we like to put out there too. It is, like what are the asks that we're making of our kids? And this isn't necessarily right for everybody. It's not a one size fits all, but I believe that there's kind of like a limited scope of like what I'm looking for my kids to do. Like right now in the house, like my goal and my wife's goal is to make sure that our kids can be what we call freestanding adults. See, Mac, I mean, like we say this a lot, right? Jan, we say, well, we want you to become a freestanding adult, right? Like, all right, Mac. So, like, what does that mean? Tell us. Like, when I say that, like, what does that
freestanding
mean?
adult, don't be a loser, basically, as an adult.
Yeah,
Like,
don't be a loser.
A lot of people, especially these days, they make questionable career decisions. Especially with, like, social media and like the whole like influencer branch and everything like that. People tend to follow their passion a little bit too much and end up choosing really unrealistic career paths and such. Or like, I don't know, maybe they were babied too much. I come from, a pretty good school district, and I kind of like to call it the Brookwood bubble, where basically you have like a whole bunch of rich babies who have no idea what to do, and they're very like sheltered. So a big part of that is like not being sheltered, learning how to make good, sound decisions as an adult, choosing a way of life that doesn't suck, and not being that weird 25-year-old who still relies on their parents and like lives in their basement.
There you go. No. So actually, I like that. I like that explanation, and thanks for sharing that out. I mean, that because like what it drives down to for me about being a freestanding adult, and this all goes back to the mutual respect is, as you get older, I am going to mutually respect and expect you to do things that are commensurate with your age. I mean, you're 17 years old right now. You're about to, I mean, you'll be heading to college next year. So, I'm giving you a whole lot more rope, right?
Oh,
I mean,
sure.
like this rope can be your freedom. This rope can be your noose.
Yeah.
You can choose. Like it's your life, bro. I mean, like literally, you're gonna be a grown man like soon, and like whatever you want to do with that rope. I mean, like you can take it and run with it, or you can take it, you can hang yourself with it. But that ain't my problem. That's your problem, right? So there you go. Yeah. Mutual respect and mutual expectations. Okay, so let's talk about this other thing. Another idea, third, is let's talk about honesty.
Yeah.
Good, bad, and ugly. So, I'll start this one off, and then I would love to hear what Jensen has to say about honesty, and we'll talk to Mac again about honesty too. So, we believe in just, unfiltered, unbiased honesty in our household. The thing is, I'm a huge heavy metal fan, and I remember there's a song from a Metallica album. It's called, the song is Dyer's Eve, and well, actually, I might be getting the song wrong, but the lyric says this: "When a man lies, he murders some part of the world. These are the pale moments which men miscall their lives." That stuck with me a whole lot. I mean, like when you lie, a part of the world dies, and we believe in this household as a family unit about just utmost honesty. And sometimes, honesty. I mean, honesty is good. It's good feedback and feed forward so that we can be even better in the future. But sometimes being honest means, saying things that you don't want to hear. And that's not just me telling my kids what they don't want to hear. This is also my kids telling me some stuff that I might not want to hear. So, so that's kind of like my synopsis of, just that honesty is just being, clear and transparent about like, here's what I'm going through. Here's what's working. Here's what's not working. Sure. Let's have a dialogue about it. Okay. Mac, you want to talk a little bit about just like this whole idea of open honesty?
Yeah. I think it's really important, like Dad was saying, to have like kind of this two-way system where not only is the parent being brutally honest, but the kid can be brutally honest with your parent too.
Yeah.
Because I kind of see in like parenting relationships that don't work like that, you just get a lot of sketchiness, so to speak. Just a lot of like passive aggression, kids not telling their parents everything, parents getting frustrated because they're not getting the transparency they want. And so I think it's really important to build a healthy enough relationship where you can have that two-way kind of honesty where like kid is honest with the parent, parent is honest with the kid, and everybody's good and transparent.
Yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, can I put you on the spot? Can I
Sure.
kind of throw you out there and just say, like, can you think of like a moment where you had to kind of have like one of those honest moments with me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, just recently.
Oh yeah, I'll ask you next. Yeah, go ahead.
Like a lot about like college plans and
Yeah.
career plans and things like that. Like I know for kids, like people my age, one of the most like nerve-wracking things is like telling your parent like what you want to actually do with your life and like, hey, what kind of university are you looking at and what kind of career path you're looking at and like your like your applications, your essays, like all these things where it can be kind of difficult to like open up to your parent because you just don't know what to expect. You're like, oh, like what if they don't think it's like the best option, or like what if we're in kind of a bit of a disagreement about, oh, like which university is best for me, or what kind of payment options for college is best for me, or what kind of career is like best, etc. So that was definitely a time like a couple of months ago where being honest was a good thing because it's kind of the season for that. So yeah.
No, I mean, and I think that was actually a really good example. I remember one of these conversations. We were, gosh, I mean, we're driving to a Falcons game.
Yeah.
Who were we playing that week? Do you remember like who the team was?
Yeah, the Rams maybe.
Either way, we lost.
Yeah, we
we
lost.
lost. But I do remember we were driving to the MARTA station.
Yeah.
We live in Atlanta, so we have to drive like out of the suburbs and kind of like into the city to hop on the train to get to the stadium. And we were talking about college. The day before, we had filled out the FAFSA, the federal, whatever the
federal
acronym.
aid, whatever. I don't know.
Whatever. I just know it's FAFSA. It's the FAFSA. We had filled it out, and we were kind of like, putting a list down of like, well, what schools are we going to send this financial aid packet, this information off to? And I'll be the first to admit, and I was clear with him when we did this that, I mean, here's the thing, like this dude, like not only is he good looking, look at that, that's my boy. Oh, he's so beautiful, but like we were all, not only were we talking about like which schools, but kind of like the why behind the decisions. And like dude has a 4.0, right? I mean, like he's gonna graduate with probably like a 4-point plus. And like I'm a smart guy. I mean, the bottom line is, I mean, I am smart. I ain't bragging if it's true. I mean, like I'm a guy of some intelligence. I got some good looks. I got some charisma. But I mean, like Skinny Mac is taken to a whole nother level. Big Red back here in the background is taken to a whole nother level. Look at the camera. He's so beautiful. He's so smart too, y'all. He's a really great dancer and he's super smart. But we're talking about schools, and I was like, Mac, look at your financial aid. This FAFSA, and like I'm not seeing like a range of schools that I wanted to see, right? Because I had some expectations. And I was wondering, like, with your SAT scores and your grades, and like the overall profile that you have as a high school student, like where were the Ivy Leagues on this list? And then on the other end, it was kind of like, where are the Georgia schools on this list? Just in case you decide that you want to stay here. But so I had some expectations. I was layering my expectations on top of like what I was hoping from you. And when we put those schools down, I just thought we had a big disconnect.
Indeed.
And when we filled out that FAFSA, I didn't say anything because I tend to kind of go silent before I talk. And sometimes if I sit on my feelings too long, I tend to get a little bit explosive. I got a little bit of a temper.
Indeed, sometimes.
It's not bad. I mean, like I don't hate the children, but I might punch them all if I get frustrated. But but yeah, so like I just felt that he had some gaps in his financial aid information,
Sure.
the way he wanted to send his stuff, and I didn't talk about it. But then on the way down, going to the game, we
Yeah,
talked
of course.
about it, and I had to let him know. I was like, well,
Yeah.
I mean, here's what I'm seeing.
Yeah,
I see
yeah.
on your FAFSA that you like not applied to these schools, and I'm like, why?
Sure.
And so we had to have that talk.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
it was fine because we were honest, we were transparent, and we both got, kind of the ideas between both of our varying expectations. And because of that, we were kind of able to remediate it. So, I added a couple of schools that he was expecting, and then he knew why I chose the original schools I wanted, and it was no big deal, and we fixed it. But it could have been a big deal if we weren't honest about it, if we weren't transparent about it, if we didn't nip it in the butt.
Absolutely. All right. And so the last thing that I want to go to is having fun. And I know that Red, you could talk about this one, right? I mean, like having fun with your parents, bro, dude, put down the switch.
Yeah, we're about to have some fun.
Talk to the people, man. Like tell them, like, what does it mean to have fun with your parents? They gonna speak up so they can hear you. What does it mean?
To have fun with your parents. So to have fun with your parents, it means to like have a good time with them.
All right.
And stuff. So.
Yeah. And what kind of stuff is like fun with your parents? Because I know that hanging out with parents can be boring. So like, what's fun with the parents?
Playing video games.
Yeah, we're both playing some video games.
Yeah, exactly. We are. We about to go online. We play Brawlhalla. We about to steal some souls, y'all. I mean, how many souls we sell a day?
10,000.
I said, how many souls we selling today? How many souls are we stealing today?
A lot.
We're about to sell a lot of souls. All right, so play video games. What else?
Maybe go out to a restaurant with them.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
With your parents.
Kind of like some parent kid like date nights, right? Just go out and have a good time.
Eat some sushi.
Anything else you got in mind there, Red?
No, that's all.
All right, that's all he's got. Look, he's back there playing the Switch, so. All right, Mac. I mean, so like really at a high level, like what does it mean to have fun with your parents?
Like I said, like a lot of it harkens back to the first thing we talked about, being friends with them, just doing things that both of us like, and like both of us kind of put us at ease and make us comfortable with each other. So like for me, playing video games, lifting weights with you, soon to come, going on vacations with you. Like it's gonna be cool.
Like, where we going, bro?
Norway. Indeed, it'll be fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, so just doing things that both of us enjoy, both of us have a good time with, and by having fun, you're also building upon that really like chill, but also helpful and beneficial parent-child relationship, which is cool.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, I really appreciate that. Yeah, I love to have fun with my kids. I mean, some people might say I might have too much fun with them, but hey, the bottom line is, I am me. I'm 40 years old. I'm always going to be about 14 at heart.
Exactly.
So, fart jokes are definitely a big thing. I still, hey, he's back there making fart noises right now. But look, we play video games together. We hang out. And as Christian said, it's all about really just trying to find that mutual territory, like something that is mutual between the two of you where you can connect, right? And again, we talked about like kids having their own speed, and you have to respect where they all come from. So just because like gaming and lifting weights, show the guns. Where you was at, Mac? Where they at?
Wait, hold
get
on,
the frame. There we go. Oh, and there you go. He's been working at it. But yeah, I mean, aside from like doing things that you enjoy with with like one of your kids, you have to find out like what really makes each of your kids tick and find a way to meet them where they are. So like video games and weightlifting might be a thing for us. Oh, and anime. Love some anime. And this guy right here, he's all about the video games. But from other kids who tend to be more reserved, I mean, you have to find things that work for them too. My daughter, for example, she likes to cook, and she also likes sushi, and she loves K-pop. So whenever I want to hang out with her, it's just like, hey, sweetie, like let's go on a date. Let's buy you some sushi. Let's go to the K-pop store. And then like my oldest son, I mean, he's like the old man that lives in the basement. He'll be 19 this year. He's super reserved, and that's a hard nut to crack. Like it's hard to figure out like what's down with him, what gets him going. But the bottom line is, really like what he appreciates the most is just having some quiet moments where you can actually just sit down and talk.
Mhm.
And it's is also understanding and respecting his space that he's not the most verbal person. So I mean, just kind of talking to him just in a very relaxed way for 5 minutes is all you really need, because that's just meeting him where he is, even though I like to talk a whole lot more, obviously, that's just not his jam.
Yeah.
So what I really hope today is like not only that you get an opportunity to like meet a few of my beautiful children. We got a beautiful family here, the Brown Eye Boys. I really wanted to share just some thoughts. So here we go. Got to put the Brown Eye Boys ticker at the bottom. There you go. The small one, the tall one, and the red one. That's the Brown Eye Boy Club. But really, I hope that during this Sunrise Success Series that we've kind of given you some fodder, some food for thoughts on how you can really maximize your relationship with your children. Because here's the thing, I know that right now, as a parent, you have something beautiful going on in your life. And that is you have like this gift. You have this gift from the universe, from God, or whomever, that you can help shape and influence a life while also understanding that that life is not yours. I mean, you're responsible for it, but it's not yours. So, I mean, like, kiss it, love it, hold it dear, but don't be afraid to let it grow and let it go. Also, look, he's like dad's waxing didactic again. He's like,
I
just
know.
shut up so we can play video games. But the other thing too is I just really hope that if you are a parent and if you're thinking about becoming a parent, that you really embrace this gift, because I don't know what like round two of like this life looks like, but right now like we have a chance to like embrace something beautiful, and embracing that something beautiful is embracing your family on a day-to-day basis. So as the sun comes up and as you finish your cup of coffee, I wish you as much success as possible. And here's to you, and here's to being even more awesome than you were the day before. Cheers to that. All right, we'll see you next time.
Mhm.